Hey everyone, welcome to the iPhone Video Editing Masterclass with the Splice app. I'm going to run you through everything you need to know how to edit a video on your iPhone using the Splice app. If you want to skip around between different tutorials, look below and you'll see little chapter guides so you can skip to whichever tutorial you want, or you can stick around and watch the entire video, and I hope you enjoy. So in this video, I'm just going to run through the basics of editing your videos with the Splice app, importing your project, naming it, aspect ratio, cropping, trimming, all of that, and exporting your project from start to finish, the basics of editing in the Splice app. So let's hop into the app and I'm going to show you guys the workflow. With our homepage open in the Splice app, we're going to click on New Project. I'm going to import all the clips that I want in my project and hit Next. Here we can name our project whatever we want. We can also select the aspect ratio that we want. Today I'm going to choose 4:5 for a vertical Instagram post. Now we can click Create. To make the timeline bigger or smaller, use two fingers and simply pinch to make it smaller and stretch your fingers to make it bigger. To move a clip, select it, hold down on it, and lift it up and move it wherever you want to in the timeline and simply release. To crop a clip, simply tap on it and a grid will pop up. Pinch to zoom and move the clip around until you find the framing that you want, and then touch back down on the timeline, press play, and your clip will be cropped. Trimming the length of a clip is easy by selecting the clip and sliding either the left or right line until the clip is the length that you want it. To split a clip in half, simply scroll along the timeline until you find where you want to split it. Go to your bottom menu, look for the split button, and simply click. Now that your clip is cut in half, you can take half of it and relocate it to wherever you want in your video. To delete a clip, simply select it, scroll along the bottom menu until you see the delete button, and click. To export your work, click the export button in the top right corner of the app. Select your frame rate. I know I shot this video at 24 frames per second, so I'll use the slider to set it to 24. I'm going to export this video as 1080p because that will be enough quality for an Instagram post. Click Save and your video will be exported into your camera roll. Alright everyone, that's it for this episode on the basics of editing in the Splice app. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and found it useful. Please let us know in the comments below if you did, and stay tuned for more episodes coming up. Thank you guys so much for your time, and I will see you guys in the next video. In this video, I'm going to show you guys how to use text and titles in your videos, and it's quite simple, but we'll hop right into the app now and I'm going to show you guys how to do it. So I'm in the timeline here in my Splice app, and I've got all of this awesome footage loaded up from a great trip to Mexico that I had, and I want to add some titles and text to give this video a bit more context. So we're going to start by tapping the title button along the bottom bar here, press title, and that's going to put text over a solid color. So now I can double tap on the text and edit it and write "My awesome trip," maybe not the most original title, and then press the check mark, and that is all set. When you select the text, you'll see along the bottom bar that you have all these different options. I can change the color of the text however I want. I'll leave it at white for now. I can change the font to whatever I want as well. And as well, I can also change the opacity, alignment, and the background color. For now, I'll leave it on black, and you can also change the length of it simply by tapping on the T right here and dragging it as long as you want it. I want it to stop when the video turns on, so I'll leave it right about there, right about here. And then we have this intro title, which is perfect. But now I want to also throw a title over this video right here to give even more context. So we're going to click on the timeline. Along the bottom, you'll see a text button. Click text, and text is going to pop up over my video. I'm going to double tap it like I did before and write "Surfing Mexico." That'll be the title. And then I'll press the check mark. And now using my finger, I can slide this up and down and use the middle guide to center your text. I'm going to put it up here, and I'm going to change the color using the color button here to black so it stands out a bit more. And then I'm also going to change the font. I'll scroll along till I see one that I like, and I will use, why don't I go with this one right here? Perfect. But what if I want to add a subheading below to add even more information? What I'm going to do is press text again, like that, and I'm going to write my surfing adventure here and press the check mark. And now I can use 2 fingers to make this text smaller, and I can slide it up, keep it centered using that blue line, and I'll also change the color again to black so it stands out. And now we have this awesome title that gives even more context to our film. I'll look down here, I'll make the timeline bigger, and I will make sure that our video and text stop at the same time, which they do. So now we have both our intro title and our text over video in the second clip, and that's going to set our video up really nicely and give the viewer a bit more context. That's it for this episode in the Splice tutorial series, where I show you using text and titles in your videos on the Splice app. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, please let us know below, and also let us know any other tutorials that you'd like to see. Thank you so much for your time, and I'll see you in the next video. In this video, I'm going to show you guys how to play with time, how to slow your videos down, speed them up, how to use speed ramping, when to use speed ramping, how to reverse your videos, and a couple other things. So we'll hop right into the app and I'll show you guys how to do that. So we're in my timeline here in the Splice app, and we've got this video of me skateboarding, doing a little kickflip out here, shot on iPhone. So I want to slow down this kickflip at the end here. And what we're going to do is select the clip, and then in the bottom bar here, we're going to select speed. Now, if you want to slow down your entire clip, simply just drag this blue slider down to the speed that you want it at, and the whole clip will be slowed down from start to finish. The entire clip will be slow motion. But for this video, I want to show you guys how to speed ramp. So I'm going to put it back to full speed and click on the right here, speed effects. Click that, and now we'll be able to add keyframes. So scrolling along, I want my slow motion to begin right about here, let's say, right before I do the kickflip. So I will stop here, and I'm going to add a speed point right there. And I'm going to select ease in on the right there, make sure that's selected, as that will ramp the footage and slow it down, not just instantly, but over time. And now I can, with this keyframe selected, slow down to about 0.4%. I think that will look good. And I can press play to see how that looks. That looks perfect. And then I want the video to speed up again right when I land. So I'm going to add a speed point here, and then I'm going to use the blue slider at the bottom and speed it all back up to normal speed, 0.1 or 1.0 times right there. And now we should have a pretty good speed ramp. Let's check it out. Perfect. And as you can see for the second keyframe here, I am also going to make sure that I have the ease in feature left on. And let's add another speed ramp here when I do this nollie 180. We'll just put another keyframe there, slow it all down to 0.4, and we'll add another keyframe when I land right about here. Boom. And we'll speed it up to full speed. And if you ever want to move these keyframes around, you don't like exactly where they are, simply hold down on them and you can move using your finger and readjust them as you need. So let's take a look at this clip with the new speed ramping put in. That looks perfect. So now in a new timeline, I'm going to show you guys how to reverse your clip. This is kind of a silly little thing we did where we all jumped into the pool backwards and even got our friend to walk backwards in the background. And we want to reverse this clip and basically do the Avengers challenge where it looks like everybody's flying out of the pool. You know, kind of a bit of a joke, but we will take a look at how to do that. So we're going to select the clip and scroll along the bottom here, and you'll see a button that says reverse. Simply click that button, and there you go. Your footage will be reversed, and it's almost looking good. I'm going to also change the speed slightly, speed it up a little bit, maybe to 1.3 or so. And now we have all of us coming out of the pool like that, looking like superheroes. And once we add some sound effects, I can show you guys what this will look like. So that's what this video looks like once we add all the sound effects and music. Make sure to check out the Splice sound effects tutorial if you're interested in that. That's it for this tutorial on playing with time in the Splice app. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Please let us know below if you did, and any questions that you might have also. Thank you so much for your time, and I will see you guys in the next video. In this video, I'm going to show you guys how to add music, voiceovers, and sound effects to your videos in the Splice app. And I can't stress this enough, but sound is so important to your videos. It's worth learning how to add and create better sound effects, sound design, voiceovers, and adding better music to your videos to make them more engaging. So we're gonna hop into the Splice app and I'm gonna show you guys how to do this. So I've got some footage from a trip to Hawaii loaded up in my Splice timeline here, and I'm gonna start off by adding some music to liven these shots up and make it a bit more of a story. So we're gonna click the music button in the bottom bar and open up the music. You can add music from your iTunes or imported music from your files folder, or you can simply just use the music that's included with the Splice app, which is all of this right here. I'm going to use music that's included in the app today, so I'm going to click Cinematic, and I want something kind of calming for this video. I'm going to try this ocean meditation. Listen to a few different songs and find one you like, and once you like it, simply tap Add. The song will load into your timeline, and you can move it around just like you would with a video clip by holding down and dragging it. I'm going to start it right here at the start, and to control the different settings of the audio, you can click the audio, and you'll see below you have volume settings, and you can change the volume of the song. You can also make it fade in and out with these two buttons on the right side of the volume. When they're blue, it means it'll fade in or it will fade out. So I'm going to leave the volume at 100, and I'm going to see how this looks with my clips so far. So I'll play the video. Perfect. I like the mood of this song so far. I think it matches what I'm going for this footage, kind of a bit of a mysterious and epic sound to it. And now I'm going to want to add sound effects. So I'm going to go and click the Sounds button here. Already loaded into Splice, you have all these awesome sound effects that you can use in your video, which is amazing. I know that first clip is a forest shot, so I'm going to go down and find a forest sound effect right here. And I'm going to click Add. Once that sound effect is in, you edit it in the same way you'd edit a video. So I want it to start in the middle, so I'm going to drag this left bar right to where I see the audio waves go a little higher. And now I can move it to the start by holding down and dragging it all the way to the start here. And I will also trim it, grab this right line, drag it all the way back, and I'll let it fade into the next clip a little bit also. I'm going to click on that sound effect and go to volume, and I'm going to make it fade out by clicking this button right here on the right. And now we should have a good sound effect of the forest. Let's take a look. Perfect. Already you can see it adds a lot to our video. And for these next clips, I'm going to want a bit of a wind sound effect. So I'll go back to the Sounds button, Ambient, and I'm going to look for a wind. Here we go. I'll click the wind one, and that sounds perfect. So I'll click Add. And once again, I can trim it however I want. I'll have it start here, and I'm going to move the entire sound effect to just the start of this clip right there. And I'll trim it down right to the end of the clip, right about. I'll have it run into this clip as well. And then again, we'll go to volume, and I want this sound effect to fade in and fade out. I think it's nice to not have your sound effects come on or turn off or turn on too quickly. So let's listen to this now. Perfect. So already we're getting a nice mood with these sound effects that we're adding. If at any time you want to change the volume of a sound effect, go into this volume button again and you can lower the sound of the wind or whatever sound effect you're using. I'm going to leave it at 100 because I think it sounds really good. And another example here, we've got some waves coming over the rocks. So I'll go back to my sound button and I'll go ambient and I'll look for a wave sound effect. I'll add that and we will drag it. I want it to start right out there. We'll have it come in maybe right before that shot here, and I'll trim it to the end of the ocean shots. Perfect, and we'll go into volume again, fade in, fade out. I'll leave it at 100, and let's take a look at how that sounds. I was a little off on the timing. I'm going to drag this one a little farther down. Here, we'll want it to come in right around there. Perfect, let's try again. That's perfect. So there are endless sound effects in here that you can add to your videos, all the different sound effects. And the more sound effects that you layer on top of your video, assuming you're doing a good job of it, it will just make it more and more ambient and give your video even more of a style and a mood. So make sure to pay attention to sound effects when you're using the Splice app. You can also easily add a voiceover to your video by scrolling along the bottom bar, click the voice button, you'll see a 3, 2, 1 countdown, and now my voiceover is recording over my video, and when I'm done, I'll press stop. Now my voiceover is done, I can drag it around like I would with any audio or video clip, and I can also change the volume of it and have it fade in or fade out if I choose to. That's it for this episode on adding sounds to your videos in the Splice app. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please let us know in the comments below if you guys enjoyed this tutorial and found it useful, or any other tutorials that you'd like to see moving forward. Thank you so much for your time, and I'll see you in the next video. In this video, I'm going to show you guys how to use filters, transitions, and how to animate your photos, as well as a couple other things. There's honestly an endless number of things you can do in the Splice app, and I'm finding new things almost every day. So in this tutorial, I'll show you guys some of the cool effects, transitions, and filters that can make your videos stand out even more. So we'll hop into the Splice app and I'll show you guys how to do this. All right, so we're in the timeline here and I've got some footage from a trip to Mexico. We're gonna start by adding a transition in between these two clips right here. You'll see a little diagram in the middle of the two clips. Click that diagram and the transition menu will pop up below. And if you scroll along here, you'll see all the different transitions that you can add in between your clips. So let's try one right now. Let's try the blur spin and let's see, there it is right now as it spins. And if you want to change the length of your transition, use this timer right here. Slide the blue bar as you need and make it shorter or longer, and your transition will be complete. Now to remove a transition, just click on that diagram again, go down to the end and click none, and your transition will be removed. So now I can show you guys how to animate your photos or your videos, and this is the same process if you're doing it for a photo or a video. So we'll click on the clip that we want to animate, scroll along your bottom bar till you see animate, and click that button. And now we'll click Enable Ken Burns, and we have a start frame and an end frame. So for the start frame, I'm going to use my fingers to pinch and zoom, and you can even spin your clip if you want. Do whatever you want to set the start frame, and then for the end frame, I'll want it fully zoomed out to its original space, to its original spot. I'll want it fully zoomed out to its original spot. And now, if we preview it, we should have a nice Ken Burns effect as it animates back. So now I'll show you how to use filters. Select the clip that you want to put a filter on, scroll along the bottom bar until you see the filters, and click. And now you'll see a huge number, endless number of filters that you can apply to your footage, and you can adjust the intensity of the filter using this slider here from 0 to 100, and there are many different looks you can go for. If you want to remove the filter that you've put on, go right back to the start and click none. Now, if you don't want to use a filter and you want to color grade on your own, you can select the clip and click the adjust button right here, and you'll have all the tools you need to color grade your footage. So you've got the contrast, you can crank that up, set the exposure right here. This clip's already pretty well done, and sharpness if you want to sharpen up your clip a little bit, just like that, and just exit the menu when you're done. There's also a bunch of cool effects that you can add to your footage by simply clicking the effects button in the bottom bar, and you'll see them all here. You've got chroma, chroma 3, glitch, some VHS kind of looking different effects that you can throw over your footage, and you can even have multiple on one clip. To change the length, if you want it to run the entire length of your film, the effect, then you just use the bars like you would with any other clip, and the glitch will be applied to every clip in your timeline. And then to remove it, simply select it and press delete. That's it for this video on adding filters, transitions, and animating your photos in the Splice app. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please let us know in the comments below. Also, let us know any tutorials that you might like to see in the future moving forward. Thank you so much for your time, and I'll see you in the next video. And in this video, I'm going to show you some tips that are going to speed up your workflow when you're editing your videos in the Splice app. So we'll hop into the app and we'll get started. All right, so I'm in my timeline here. We'll start by learning how to duplicate a clip. Just select the clip you want to duplicate and then search for the duplicate button and press that, and you'll see it repeated on your timeline right there. Now, if you ever want to undo something that you've just done, look in the top left-hand side of your screen for the arrow and press that. It'll undo the changes that you've made, and if you ever want to redo them, just press the forward arrow again. Now I'll show you how to replace a clip with another clip that's in your camera roll. Just select the clip you want to replace, scroll along the bottom, look for the change button, press that, and then select the clip you want to replace it with. Press change, and now that clip will be replaced with the one from your camera roll. A quick and useful tip if you ever want to change your aspect ratio or rename your project, just click on that little gear wheel in the left corner and you can instantly change the aspect ratio of the project that you're in right now. If you ever want to full screen your project, in the bottom right corner you'll see a little square. Press that and it makes your project a full screen. As you add more effects and soundtracks to your timeline, you might find it getting a little bit busy. So for example, if I add an effect, let's say I add the chroma effect, and then I add another one on top of the glitch, and then even a third effect, another glitch on top of that. For some reason, I'm adding a bunch. You'll see here that I have 3 elements and they're all stacked on top of each other. To cycle between all 3 of them, simply just tap on the little square and you'll see a number. So 1, 2, 3, and you can edit them accordingly that way. Another useful tool is the Apply All tool. So let's say I want to add an animation to this video. I'll do a little Ken Burns where we start zoomed in and then we zoom all the way out at the end. You'll see 2 little check marks pop up in the corner there. If I press these check marks, it'll say Apply to All, and if I click Apply to All, it will then apply that effect to all the clips in my timeline, and they will all have the same Ken Burns effect as this one does right here. That's all for this episode on speeding up your workflow in the Splice app. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please let us know in the comments below, and also let us know any other tutorials that you might like to see. Thank you so much for your time, and I will see you in the next video.